A wooden block floating in a bucket of water has 4 by 5 of its volume submerged. When certain amount of an oil is poured into the bucket, it is found that the block is just under the oil surface with half of its volume under the water and half in the oil. The density of the oil relative to that of water is. In this question, there is a bucket of water. Initially, a wooden block is submerged into this water. Of its 4 by 5 of volume is under the water. Here, the wooden block is partially inside the liquid. That's why there is some amount of buoyancy force is acting on this object. So, the formula for the buoyancy force here, the buoyancy force supports the weight of the block. The buoyancy force is nothing but V rho G. Here, only 4 by 5% of volume is in the water. That's why volume is 4 by 5th part of volume into rho. It is the density of water into G is equals to mg. By cancelling the common terms and by getting this volume into the RHS side, it is 4 by 5 into rho W is equals to mass by volume. Now 4 by 5 into rho W equals to mass by volume. This is the density of the block. Okay, after this, by filling this bucket with the oil, now the wooden block is completely submerged under the liquid. Okay, at here the half of the volume is in the water and the remaining half is in the oil. Okay, here the wooden block is completely submerged in this liquid. Now the buoyancy force due to the oil plus buoyancy force due to the water is equals to weight of the wooden block. Okay, here the buoyancy force of the oil is V by 2. The buoyancy force formula is like volume into density of the liquid into G. Volume into density of the liquid into G. This is the formula for the buoyancy force. Here the buoyancy force due to oil is volume. Here half part of the volume is in the oil. That's why it is V by 2 and rho density of the oil and G plus buoyancy force due to water. Half part of the volume is in the water, V by 2 and density of water and G is equals to mg. Okay, and this mass can be written as like that is equals to mg. Mass is nothing but volume into density into G. Okay, on the both sides, by getting cancelling the common terms Vg, it is density of the oil by 2 plus density of water by 2 is equals to density rho. Already we having the value of the rho as 4 by 5 into rho W. Okay, now density of the oil by 2 is equals to, by getting this term into the RHS side, it is 4 by 5 rho W minus rho W by 2. By calculating this, we got that density of the oil by 2 is equals to, here the LCM is 10 and it is 8 rho W minus it is 5 rho W. By solving this, it is density of the oil by 2 is equal to 3 rho W by 10. Now density of the oil with respect to the density of the water is equals to 6 by 10. It is equals to 0.6. Okay. A load of mass mkg is suspended from a steel wire of length 2 meters and radius 1 millimeter in Serrel's operator's experiment. The increase in length produced in the wire is 4 millimeters. Now the load is fully immersed in a liquid of relative density 2. The relative density of the material of the load is 8. The new value of the increase in length of the steel wire is, here initially it is a rigid support. For this rigid support it having a some load. Okay, to this, if the mass of the load is small m, then its weight acting vertically downwards and tension acting like this. Here from the free body diagram it is T equals to mg. For the same rigid support, the hanging load is immersed into the water. Now the load is completely immersed into the water. The weight of the block acting vertically downwards, and here the tension is T dash, because of when the object is completely or partially immersed in a water, there is the decrease in tension due to the buoyancy force. Okay, here T dash is equals to mg minus fb, and from this T dash is equals to mg minus, the formula for the buoyancy force is V rho g. Here rho is the density of the liquid. By solving this, it is T dash is equals to mg minus volume. It is nothing but volume of the block, mass by density. Volume is nothing but mass by density into rho L into g. From this T dash equals to, by getting common mg, it is mg into 1 minus rho L by rho, like this. By substituting the values of the densities in the given data, it is T dash is equals to mg into 1 minus, it is 2 by 8, 1 minus 2 by 8. By solving this, it is 1 minus 1 by 4, that is equals to mg into 3 by 4. Okay, it is mg into 3 by 4. Here from the Young's modulus, y equals to FL by A into delta L. Here force is nothing but tension in the steel wire, and this is the change in length. Here the tension and change in lengths are directly proportional. Okay, that's why T by T dash is equals to delta L by delta L dash. By solving this, T, it is mg by T dash, it is mg into 3 by 4, it is mg into 3 by 4, and delta L, the value of the delta L in the given data is 4 millimeters. It is 4 by delta L dash. By solving this, by cancelling the common terms, it is 1 by 3 equals to 1 by delta L dash. It is nothing but delta L dash is equals to 3 millimeters. A liquid of density rho is coming out of a hose pipe of radius small a with a horizontal speed v and hits a mesh. 50% of the liquid passes through the mesh unaffected and 25% of the liquid loses all of its momentum and 25% comes back with the same speed. The resultant pressure on the mesh will be, in this question, the total 100% of the liquid, 50% of the liquid comes out from the mesh and remaining 25% stays on the surface of the mesh and remaining 25% comes back with the same speed. Okay, the liquid which comes out from the mesh, it means it penetrates through the mesh. There is no force acting on that liquid. In the question clearly 50% of the liquid passes through the mesh unaffected. This 50% is unaffected and it is penetrates through the mesh and the remaining force is acting on this 25% of the liquid stays on the mesh and remaining 25% of the liquid rebounds with the same speed. Okay, first of all, mass per unit time is mass per unit time. Mass per unit time, it is m by t. We all are know the mass is nothing but volume into density by t and this volume can be again written as area into length into density by time. This length is nothing but distance or displacement. It is displacement by time. It can be written as velocity, a v rho. Here this v represents volume and this v represents velocity. This v represents velocity. Okay. Overall, the mass per unit time is simply it is rho a v. Simply it is rho a v. This is rho, density of the liquid. This is area of cross section of the pipe. This is the displacement by time. It is nothing but velocity. Okay, and momentum per unit time is momentum per unit time. Momentum per unit time is nothing but mv by t. Simply it is m by t into v. We already got that m by t as rho a v into v. By solving this, mv by t equals to rho a v square. And simply it is mv by t. V by t is nothing but change in velocity. Velocity by time, it is nothing but acceleration. M into a, it is in the form of force. Okay. Now, the force acting on the liquid which is just stays on the surface of the mesh, it is 25%. The force acting on liquid stays on mesh, it is about 25%. 25% means it is 1 by 4 into that force is rho a v square, and this is the force F1. And the next one is the force acting on the liquid which bounce back with the same speed. Bounce back with same speed. It means that force is F2 equals to 25% of the liquid bounce back with the same speed. Now it is 25%, 1 by 4. If any object bounce back with the same speed, its momentum, change in momentum is m into v plus v, 2mv. That's why it is 2 into that momentum is rho a v square. Okay, now by calculating this, we got that it is 1 by 2 into rho a v square. The total force is equals to F equal to F1 plus F2. By adding these two terms, it is 1 by 4 rho a v square and it is 1 by 2 rho a v square. By solving this, we got that 3 by 4 into rho a v square. Okay, this is the area of cross section, and this area of cross section on getting LHS side, it is force by area, and this force by area is nothing but pressure. P equals to F by A. On getting the area of cross section into the LHS side, it is F by A. F by A is nothing but pressure, that equals to 3 by 4 into rho v square. This 3 by 4 rho v square is the pressure acting on the liquid. Okay. Two identical charged spheres are suspended by a strings of equal lengths. The strings make an angle 30 degrees with each other when suspended in a liquid of density 0.8 gram per centimeter cube. The angle remains same. If the density of the material of the sphere is 1.6 gram per centimeter cube, the electric constant of the liquid is, here this is the rigid support. From this rigid support, two identical spheres are suspended. Identical spheres means those two having like charges. For like charges, those two spheres are repelled with some force. This is the force of repulsion acting on the sphere, and this is the force of repulsion acting on the sphere in these directions. Okay. From the given data, the angle between those two spheres is 30 degrees, and this is the direction of the tension. By resolving here, this also 30 degrees. Okay, and by resolving this t, it is t cos 30 degrees, and this is t sin 30 degrees. Okay, here the t sin 30 degrees supports the Coulombic force acting on this sphere, and this t cos 30 balances the weight, and this t cos 30 degrees balances the weight of the sphere. By dividing these two equations, we got that tan 30 degrees is equals to F by mg. This is the equation number 1. Now this suspension is immersed in water. These two spheres are dipped into a water. In addition, there is a buoyancy force acting on the sphere, and Due to suspension of this system in water, the tension is also changes to some T dash. Now, by resolving the parameters, it is T dash cos 30 and it is T dash sin 30. Here, this T dash sin 30 balances the force and this weight mg balances this T dash cos 30 plus T dash cos 30 degrees plus buoyancy force. Here the buoyancy force is acting on the system due to those spheres are suspended in the liquid. Here the formula for the buoyancy force is equals to V into density of the object minus density of the liquid into G. Okay, from this it is V into density of the material, it is 1.6 minus density of the liquid, it is 0.8 into G. By solving this, we got that V into 1.6 minus 0.8, it is 0.8 into G. Once again, it is V into 0.8 into G. And this volume can be written as like mass by density of the material into 0.8 into G. Simply it is, by solving this, the buoyancy force is became as finally mass by density. Here the density of the material is 1.6 into 0.8 into G. By cancelling this, we got that the buoyancy force as mg by 2. By substituting the value of the buoyancy force in this equation, we got that mg is equal to T dash cos 30 degrees plus buoyancy force. Finally, the buoyancy force is mg by 2. This mg by 2, on getting LHS side, this is mg minus mg by 2. It is again mg by 2 is equals to T dash cos 30 degrees. Okay, now this T dash sin 30 degrees and this T dash cos 30 degrees, on dividing, we got that T dash sin 30 by T dash cos 30 is equals to tan 30, which is equals to f by mg by 2. It is 2f by mg. Here the force is some f dash. When the spheres are suspended in the liquid, the force becomes some f dash like that. Okay, and this is equation 2. From 1 and 2, the LHS are equal. By equating the RHS, we got that 2f dash is equals to f. Okay, from this, f dash is equals to f by 2. F dash is equals to f by 2. Now, f dash is equals to f by 2. This f dash can be written is in the form of a dielectric, it is like f by k. By comparing these two, we got that the dielectric constant as k equals to 2. Okay, the electric constant of the liquid is k equals to 2. When these spheres are immersed in a liquid, medium of liquid, the medium has some dielectric constant. The formula for the dielectric constant is f dash equals to f by k. On comparing these two equations, in the place of dielectric, we have the value of 2. That's why the dielectric value is 2. A fluid is flowing through a horizontal pipe of varying cross section with speed V meter per second at a point where the pressure is P Pascal. At another point where the pressure is P by 2 Pascal, its speed is capital V meter per second. If the density of the fluid is rho kg per meter cube and the flow is streamline, then capital V is equal to. In this question, there is a horizontal pipe of varying cross section. It means like this is a horizontal pipe of varying cross section. Okay, this is the one point and this is the another point, and the horizontal pipe is at a same level, its both ends is at a same level from the ground. At here the pressure is P Pascal and at here the pressure is P by 2 Pascal. Okay, here the velocity of the flow of the fluid is small v, at here the velocity of the flow of the fluid is capital V. Now the question is, what is the velocity of the flow of the fluid at this end? Okay, according to the Bernoulli's theorem, the sum of pressure energy and kinetic energy and potential energy per unit volume remains constant. It is P1 plus half rho V1 square plus rho g H1 is equals to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho g H2. Here this is the H1 and this is the H2. These two heights are same, that's why there is no potential energy differences in the horizontal pipe. Now it can be written as P1 minus P2 plus half rho V1 square is equals to half rho V2 square. By substituting the values, this is the first end and this is the first end and this is the second end. At the first end the pressure is P and at the second end the pressure is P by 2 plus half rho. At the first end the velocity is small v square, which is equals to half rho. At the second end the velocity is capital V square. This is P minus P by 2. On solving it, it is P by 2 plus 1 by 2 into rho small v square equals to 1 by 2 into rho capital V square. On both sides, this is by 2 by 2 by 2. By cancelling the common term, it is P plus rho V square is equals to rho capital V square. By getting rho onto the LHS side, it is P by rho, this is rho, plus V square is equals to capital V square. Finally, the value of capital V is equals to under root, the value of capital V is equals to under root P by rho plus V square. This is the value of the velocity of the fluid at the second end. Once again, it is, on solving this, it is V, capital V is equals to under root P by rho plus small v square. Okay. Water flows in a horizontal tube. The pressure of water changes by 700 Newton per meter square between A and B. where the area of cross section are 40 centimeter square and 20 centimeter square respectively. Find the rate of flow of water through a tube. Here there is a horizontal tube. At the end A there is a broad neck and at the end B there is a narrow neck. Okay, due to the change in area of cross sections, the velocity of the fluid through the tube is also changes. From the equation of continuity, it is A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. Here 1 is nothing but at the end A and 2 is nothing but at the end B. Okay, at the end A the area of cross section is 40, at which the velocity is some VA is equals to. At B the area of cross section is 20 and the velocity of the fluid flowing through the pipe is some VB. From this it is 2 times 2 VA is equals to VB. Here from the Bernoulli's principle, this is a horizontal pipe, that's why there is no potential energy, and from the statement of the Bernoulli's theorem it is P plus half rho V square is constant. Here there is no rho GH. Why? Because of here the heights of the A and B from the ground are same. Is constant, from that's why P1 plus half rho V1 square equals to P2 plus half rho V2 square. Here 1 means at the position A and 2 means at the position B. Simply it is PA minus PB is equals to half rho into VB square minus VA square. Okay, here PA minus PB is the difference in pressure. In the question the pressure is changes by 700. It is 700. It is equals to half rho into VB square minus VA. From this the value of VA is VB by 2. By substituting the value it is VB square by 4. Now on solving this we got that it is 700 is equals to half rho into, it is 4 VB square minus VB square, it is 3 VB square by 4. Okay, by solving this the value of the VB is 8 into 700, 8 into 700 by 3 rho under root. The value of the density is 1000. By substituting it we got that 8 into 700 by 3 into 1000. Simply it is 8 into 700, it is 5600 by 3000. Okay, it is 30 by 56. 30 by 56 means approximately 2 times. The value of it is approximately 1.37 meter per second. And the value of the velocity of the liquid at B is VB is equals to 1.37 into meter means 10 square centimeter per second. Okay, now the question is find the rate of flow of the water. Rate of flow is nothing but m by t. It is like Bernoulli's principle, A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. we got the velocity of the liquid at B, simply it is AB VB, sorry, into VB. Area of cross section at B is 20 into velocity of the fluid at B is 1.37 into 10 square, it is 100. Okay, now by calculating this, 1.37 into 100, it is 137. 137 into 20, it is approximately 2740. It is approximately 2740 centimeter cube per second. In our given options, the approximate value to our answer is 2720 centimeter cube per second. Option B is the correct answer. Okay. An ideal fluid flows through a pipe of non-uniform diameter. The maximum and minimum diameters of the pipes are 6.4 centimeters and 4.8 centimeters respectively. The ratio of minimum and maximum velocities of the fluid in the pipes is, here there is a pipe of non-uniform area of cross section. Okay, this is the maximum diameter having 6.4 centimeters, and at this side the pipe having minimum diameter, it is 4.8 centimeters. Okay, here the area of cross section is more, here the area of cross section is less. From the equation of continuity, A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2, where it is the first end and it is the second end of the pipe. The pipe where the area of cross section is more, at which the velocity is less. Here the velocity is minimum, which is equals to A2. The pipe at which the area of cross section is less, the velocity is more. At here the velocity is more. Now the ratio of minimum and maximum velocities means V minimum by V maximum is equals to A2 by A1. Okay, A2. The area of cross section of the tube, it is pi R2 square by pi R1 square. Okay, simply it can be written as, by cancelling the terms pi pi, simply it is written as d2 square by d1 square also. Okay, since d equals to 2r and r equals to d by 2, simply r2 means d by 2 whole square, it is d2 square by 4, and at the denominator it is d1 square by 4. By cancelling the common terms 4 and 4, we got that it is d2 square by d1 square. Okay, d2 square, this is the second at here the diameter is 4.8 centimeters. d2 square means it is 4.8 into 4.8 by, it is d1 square, it is 6.4 into 6.4, 4.8 into 4.8 by 6.4 into 6.4. By multiplying with 100 and dividing with 100, we got that it is 48 into 48 by 64 into 64. Okay, now by cancelling with 16, it is 16 threes, 16 fours. Once again it is 16 threes and it is 16 fours. It is 3 into 3, 9 by, the denominator it is 4 into 4, 16. So The ratio of minimum and maximum velocities are 9 by 16. Option A is the correct answer. Water from a tap emerges vertically downwards with an initial speed 1 meter per second. The cross-sectional area of the tap is 10 power minus 4 meter square. Assume that the pressure is constant throughout the stream of water and that the flow is streamlined. The cross-sectional area of the stream 0.15 meters below the tap would be. Here there is a tap like this. From this tap the water comes out. Okay, the area of cross section of the tap is some A1. Here the velocity of the flow is V1. 0.15 meter below. The area of cross section is some A2. Here we want to calculate the value of the A2 and the velocity is some V2. From the Bernoulli's principle, from the statement, it is P plus rho g h plus half rho v square is constant. At the end of the pipe, it is P1 plus rho g h1 plus half rho v1 square is equals to P2 plus rho g h2 plus half rho v2 square. Okay. In the question, the pressure is constant throughout the stream of the water. Here there is no pressure difference. Okay, and rho g into, on getting rho g h2 this side, it is h1 minus h2 plus half rho v1 square is equals to half rho v2 square. On both sides there is a common term, it is rho. By cancelling the rho, it is g into h1 minus h2. Here the difference in heights is 0.15 plus half v1 square. The value of v1 square is 1 meter per second. It is 1 square equals to half rho. Rho is already cancelled, v2 square. Okay, by multiplying with 2, it is 2g into 0.15 plus 1 is equals to v2 square. The value of g is some 10, it is 3 plus 1, 10 into 0.15, it is 1.5 into 2, 3 plus 1, 4. 4 equals to v2 square and v2 equals to 2. Okay, now we want to calculate the area of cross section below 0.15 meter. From the equation of continuity, it is a1 v1 is equals to a2 v2. At here the area of cross section is 10 power minus 4 meter square and the velocity is 1 is equals to a2 into, at 0.15 meter below the velocity is 2. Okay, from this a2 equals to 1 by 2 into 10 power minus 4 meter square. 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.15. A2 equals to 0.5. 1 by 2 is nothing but 0.5 into 10 power minus 4 meter square, and it can be rewritten as like A2 equals to 5 into 10 power minus 5 meter square. So option B is the correct answer. If it takes 5 minutes to fill a 15-liter bucket from a water tap of diameter 2 by root pi centimeters. Then the Reynolds number for the flow is, density of water is 10 cube kg per meter cube, and the viscosity of water is 10 power minus 3 Pascal second. Now, from the equation of continuity, rate of flow of water can be written as dm by dt is equals to rho AV. Okay, here mass is nothing but volume into density by dt is equals to rho AV. Here this is the V indicates volume and this is the V indicates velocity. Okay, now volume. Here the volume of the liquid is 15 liters. It is 15 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. 15 liters means 15 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube into rho. Density of water is 10 cube by T. It takes 5 minutes. It means 5 into 60 seconds is equals to rho AV. The value of the rho. Once again, the density of the liquid is 10 cube A. The area of cross section, it is pi r square, pi into r. In the question, the diameter is given as d equals to 2 by root pi centimeters. Centimeter means 10 power minus 2 meters. Okay. And from this, the radius is 1 by root pi into 10 power minus 2 meters. Okay, rho, it is 10 cube A pi r square. The value of r is 1 by root pi into 10 power minus 2 whole square. If the diameter is 2 by root pi into 10 power minus 2 meters, then the radius is 1 by root pi into 10 power minus 2. Pi r square into V. Into V. Okay. Now by solving this, we got that it is 3 times and 10 power minus 3 plus 3, and it is 3 20s. 1 by 20 is equals to 10 cube into pi into, by squaring this, it is 1 by pi into 10 power minus 4 into V. By cancelling the common terms, 1 by 20 is equals to 10 cube into 10 power minus 4 into V. Okay, it is 1 by 20 is equals to 10 power minus 1 into V. 10 power minus 1, by getting into LHS side, it is 1 by 20 into 10 power minus 1 equals to V. From this, V equals to 1 by 2 meter per second. This is the velocity of the liquid flowing through that pipe. Now, the Reynolds number is, R equals to diameter of the pipe into density into area of cross section by coefficient of viscosity. Okay, here this is the velocity, right. By substituting the values, we got that R equals to diameter of the pipe, it is 2 by root pi into 10 power minus 2, and density of the liquid 10 cube, and velocity it is 1 by 2 by eta. The value of eta, viscosity, is given as 10 power minus 3 Pascal second. Okay, on getting top side, it is R equals to 2 by root pi into 10 power minus 2 into, this is on getting top side 10 power 6 into 1 by 2. By cancelling the common terms, the Reynolds number is R equals to 10 power 6 into 10 power minus 2. It is 10 power 4 into 1 by root pi. So, the value of 1 by root pi. The value of pi is 3.14 and the value of root pi, approximately it is root 3. The value of root 3 is 1.732 and we got that the Reynolds number as R equals to 10 power 4 is nothing but into 1 by 1.732. Okay, it is approximately 2. By solving this, we got that R as 5500, R as 5500. Water is flowing through a horizontal tube having cross-sectional area of its two ends being A and A dash, such that the ratio A by A dash is 5. If the pressure difference of water between the two ends is 3 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square, the velocity of the water with which it enters into the tube will be. Neglect the gravity effects. Here there is a tube like this, it having the area of cross sections, one is A and another one is A dash. Okay, water enters into the tube like this. We want to find the velocity of the water enters at the tube. At here the velocity is some V dash. In the given question, A by A dash is given as 5. Okay, it means A equals to 5A dash. Here the tube having broader neck, at here the tube having narrow neck. Okay, from this equation of continuity, we know that A into V equals to A dash into V dash. Okay, from this A by A dash is equals to V dash by V. On solving this, A by A dash is 5 is equals to V dash by V and V dash is equals to 5V. Okay, from the Bernoulli's theorem, by neglecting the gravity, from the statement of the Bernoulli's theorem, it is P1 plus half rho V1 square is equals to P2 plus half rho V2 square. By solving this, we got that P1 minus P2 is equals to half rho into V2 square minus V1 square. Okay, the difference in pressure is given as 3 into 10 power 5. It is 3 into 10 power 5 is equals to 1 by 2 into rho into V2 square minus V1 square. Of course, V2 is this V dash square minus V1 is this V square. By substituting the value of V dash as 5V, it is 3 into 10 power 5 is equals to 1 by 2 into rho into the value of V dash is 5V. 5V whole square, it is 25V square minus V square. Okay, and the density of the water is 10 cube. By substituting 3 into 10 power 5 is equals to 1 by 2 into 10 cube, it is 1000 into 25V square minus V square, it is 24V square. By solving this, it is 6 into 10 power 5 is equals to 1000 into 24 into v square. Okay, it is 10 cube, cancelling the 10 power 5 by 10 square times. Now it is 6 into 10 square, 600 equals to 24 v square. Okay, by cancelling with 4, it is 4 150s, 4 6 times. V square equals to 150 by 6. It is nothing but V square is equals to 75 by 3. It is 25. V equals to 5 meters per second. So option A is the correct answer. If a ball of steel, density 7.8 gram per centimeter cube, attains a terminal velocity of 10 centimeter per second when falling in water, the coefficient of viscosity of water is 8.5 into 10 power minus 4 Pascal second. Now, its terminal velocity in glycerin. Density of glycerin is 1.2 gram per centimeter cube and its coefficient of viscosity is 13.2 Pascal second. Would be nearly. In this question, a steel ball attains terminal velocity. This is a steel ball. When this steel ball falls through a fluid, if the weight of this steel ball is exactly equals to sum of the viscous drag force and upthrust force, it is nothing but buoyancy force, then this steel ball falls through the fluid with a constant velocity. It means the weight of the steel ball is exactly equals to buoyancy force and viscous force. Here one thing is, sigma is the density of material and rho is the density of fluid. Okay, m, mass is nothing but volume into density of the material into g is equals to buoyancy force is nothing but volume into density of the fluid into g plus viscous force is nothing but 6 pi eta radius of that object into that terminal velocity. Okay, from this, by getting this V rho g on this side, it is V sigma g minus V rho g is equals to 6 pi eta or Vt. Here the common term is Vg. By getting the common term, it is rho minus sigma minus rho is equals to 6 pi eta r into Vt. This is the formula. If the fluid change, then this density is also changes. V, volume of the steel ball remains constant and G is also constant and the density of that steel ball is also constant. If the fluid changes, then the density of the fluid is also changes. Rho dash is equals to 6 pi. If the fluid changes, the value of eta is also changes. It is some eta dash and the radius of that steel ball remains same. and terminal velocity is also changes. Now dividing these two equations by cancelling the common terms, we got that rho minus sigma. Here the first fluid is water, so it is rho minus sigma minus rho water by sigma minus this is glycerin is equals to, by cancelling the common terms 6 pi r, we got that viscosity of water into terminal velocity at water by viscosity of glycerin into terminal velocity of the steel ball in glycerin is some Vt dash. Okay. By calculating this, here the terminal velocity at the glycerin is Vt dash. Now by solving Vt dash, by getting Vt dash onto the LHS side, it is Vt dash is equals to sigma minus density of the glycerin by sigma minus density of water into coefficient of viscosity of water by coefficient of viscosity of glycerin into terminal velocity in the water. By substituting the values, we got that terminal velocity of the steel ball in the glycerin is Vt dash, it is equals to density of the steel ball, it is 7.8 minus density of water, it is some 1, in SI units it is 10 cube, in CGS units it is minus 1 by it is 7.8 minus density of it is density of glycerin in the numerator, it is 13.1.2 7.8 minus 1.2 and sigma, again density of the steel ball, it is 7.8 minus density of water, it is 1 into coefficient of viscosity in the water. The coefficient of viscosity in the water is 8.5 into 10 power minus 4 by coefficient of viscosity in the glycerin, it is 13.2 into terminal velocity in the water, it is 10. Okay. Now by solving this, we got that the terminal velocity as 7.8 minus 1.2, it is 6.6 by it is 6.8 into it is 8.5 into 10 power minus 3 by 13.2. This is exactly cancelled by 2 times. Okay. Now density of terminal velocity of the steel ball in the glycerin is Vt dash is equals to 8.5 by 6.8 into 2, it is 13.6 into 10 power minus 3. Okay, Vt dash is equals to, simply it is written as 85 into 10 power minus 4 by 13.6. Approximately it is 6.45. By solving this, we got that it is some 6.45 times. Okay, it is 6.45 into 10 power minus 4. All the units are in CGS system, that's why here the units are centimeter per second. A spherical solid ball of volume capital V is made of a material of density ρ1. It is falling through a liquid of density ρ2. ρ2 is less than ρ1. Assume that the liquid applies a viscous force on the ball that is proportional to the square of its speed v. That is, viscous force is equals to minus kv square, where k is greater than 0. The terminal speed of the ball is, here a spherical ball which is flows through a fluid, its weight acting vertically downwards. Okay, if any object flows through the fluid, there is a viscous drag force acting in upward direction. At the same time, here this spherical ball falls through a fluid, so there is a some upthrust force which is nothing but buoyancy force is also acting in upward direction. Okay, at the condition of terminal velocity, the weight of the ball is exactly equals to sum of the viscous drag force and buoyancy force. Here, the density of the material is given as ρ1 and the density of the medium is given as ρ2. Mass is nothing but volume into density of the material into g is equals to viscous force. In this question, viscous force is given as minus kv square. Of course, it is kv square. Here the negative sign indicates that the viscous drag force which is acting in opposite direction, which is nothing but fluid friction. Viscous force is nothing but fluid friction. That's why it having the negative sign. It opposes the flow of the fluid in its different layers. Okay, that's why it is kv square plus buoyancy force. The formula for the buoyancy force is v ρ2g. Here ρ2 is the density of the fluid. Now, by calculating this, we got that Vg into ρ1 minus ρ2 is equals to kv square. From this, v square here, this is the volume and this is the terminal velocity. Okay, Vg into ρ1 minus ρ2 by k is equals to v square. From this, v is equals to, from this the terminal velocity v is written as under root Vg into ρ1 minus ρ2 by k. Okay, so option A is the correct answer.